Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about sound treatment in home studios, specifically the sound panels that I built, how I built them, what materials I used, and basically how effective they are. Because I don't have the luxury of a large studio. This is just the second bedroom in my house. It's not very big, and don't get me wrong, it's not professionally treated by any means, but the panels that I built they seem to be very effective and also very cost effective. And I'm a firm believer in if you're able to build something yourself, if you have the time, um, then you should, because it really teaches you a skill, and at the end of the day you have something custom that nobody else has. And I believe I have 8 of the narrow panels and 2 of the large panels that are covering the windows, and I think total it maybe cost me $200, $250. And if you were to buy these somewhere online to get the same size, you'd probably be paying 150, 200, $250 per panel. So if you add that up, I mean, it can cost you a lot. And if you have the means, more power to you. But at the end of the day, I like building stuff, and when I look at them on the wall, I'm really proud of them, and I'm glad that I look at them and I think that they came out well. I like how they look, and I'm happy with myself. So but basically what I made them out of is 1x4 common board that you can get at Home Depot, and the insulation is by a company called Rockwool. It's called Safe and Sound, which also you can get at Home Depot. The 1x4 for 12 footers I think is around $8 a board, and the insulation for 12 sheets at 16 by 48 was around $50, $55 or something like that. And then the fabric I just got at Joann Fabric. I picked out a color that I liked, and you don't want to go too thick, I don't think, because you want as much sound to be absorbed through the fabric as possible. And then what I did is I watched a YouTube video of a guy that was making them, and he used wine corks that are about 1.75 inches long, and he nailed them to the back on each corner. And what that does is it lifts it off the wall by the length of the cork, 1.75 inches, and it's more effective this way because when you have the sound going into the panel, it absorbs in the front, but then you also have sound coming from pretty much every direction. When you're making a sound, whether it's through an amp or through drums, the point of impact creates a sound, and it goes omnidirectional. It goes every direction. And with the speaker, it goes the shape of the cone. It goes out in whatever the cone angle is, right? So you're getting not only the direct sound, but all the sound that's bouncing off the walls. And what the gap does is it allows the sound to go behind the panel and use the insulation on the back or the back side of the panel to absorb more sound. So it's just a more effective way of doing it. You just set it off the wall a little bit. You don't necessarily have to. I mean, they work the other way, but this, I think, is a more effective way to do it. They took a little while to make. Once you kind of get a rhythm and you figure out how best to do it, it goes a little quicker. I don't have a very good workshop by any means. I was working on my back porch. So what I did was I cut all the wood first. I used the vertical pieces are 48 inches, the horizontal pieces are 16 inches. So I cut all those first, screwed them together, glued them together, made the frames. And I then fabriced the frames. I just laid them on their face down, put the fabric underneath, cut to the shape that I wanted, and I used a staple gun to attach them. And then I laid in the insulation, and it was easy as that. It was as easy as that. I think that all in all, it maybe took me 2 days total because I had to work in between. But if I could have just devoted a whole day to do it, I probably could have got it done in a day. And it was really easy, and it was fun. I like working with tools. I like working with my hands. I like making things out of wood. And this gave me a reason to do that. So it was a really fun project. So. And I just think, it's incredibly important when recording and mixing that you have a dampened room. For things like drums, it's really cool to get that big room sound, like the John Bonham When the Levee Breaks sound. That's great, but when you're at a home studio, you don't have that luxury. And when you're playing drums in a room and the sound, it just fills up the room so quickly that your recordings just get completely washed out. And to the beginner ear, myself included, I'm not a professional recorder or mixer. This is something I'm just getting into, but I'm starting to be able to hear the difference between that type of stuff. So you want as much dampening as possible to get the clearest sound out of your microphones. And then you can always add reverb in post. Like, don't be afraid to add effects in post. It's not that big a deal. And then for mixing as well. Mixing is I think even more important, or maybe not more important, but equally as important, because while you're mixing through monitors, if you're doing headphones, that's one thing. Headphones, it won't make a difference, but if you're mixing through monitors, it's the same as when you're recording through a microphone. The sound is coming out of your monitors, and it's going to bounce off the walls. You're going to get the initial sound out of the monitors, and then you're going to get whatever is bouncing off the walls. So you don't want that. You want to hear just what's coming out of your monitors so you can get the most accurate mix possible. And this is a very cost-effective way to do it. You can buy foam and all those types of things, but I don't know. These add a very custom feel to the room, and it just makes for a pleasing look. So I did a couple tests. They were clap tests, because claps have a very high frequency on them, and you can hear the reverb, and it I did a couple tests, and what we're going to do is we're going to A/B them so you can hear the difference in how much these panels take the sound away. So we're going to go to those claps, and then we'll wrap it up. So all right, so here we go. I'm in roughly the same spot, and hopefully you can even tell by the sound of my voice that this room is way more dead than it was, or way more dampened, I guess, than it was prior. I can really tell. Hopefully it comes across in the video. So I'm going to do a couple claps, and we'll see. We'll kind of A/B them back and forth. So here. Other than the clap hitting the crash cymbal. So there it is. I hope you guys were able to hear the difference. In conclusion, I feel they're very effective. And like I said, it's not a professional setup by any means, but for what I want to do and for what I need to do, this is perfect, because I don't have to go to an expensive studio. I don't have to go to some, a friend's house or some stranger's house and record. I can take my time. I can do things how I want them, and I can be in my own space when I'm doing them. And to me, personally, that is when I'm able to make my best stuff. And I'm really excited, because it gives you a peace of mind when everything is how you want it and how you think it should be. It lets your creative juices flow a lot more, and I'm really excited to start doing that. And I'm really excited to share with you guys my journey along the way. So keep looking out for more videos, and let me know what you think in the comments below. What you think I should have done differently, what you liked, and if you have any questions about how they were built or how I hung them, or anything like that, like, please don't hesitate to ask, because there's so many videos out there of guys that have helped me so far in my journey, and that's kind of what I want to do with this. I want to help people that are just starting out, people that are like me, that are really into this kind of stuff, that are excited about it, and are really passionate about it. So take care, guys. We'll see you.